Today I am going to show you this little miniature junk journal collection. At first, I've made other miniature journals over time, like this one is a flip out with all these angles folded in it, and it's both sides. So I've used a lot of eco-dyed paper, stenciling, some artwork, watercolor, rust-dyed paper, and beet dyed paper with this stencil of a bee. And that's a hand-drawn raven and a watercolor goose. These are stencils. This is ink dyed paper with lace. This is oxide spray paints and some more beet paper. And it just folds up like that. It's got eco dyed on the outside, and I have a little tie back thing there that you can wrap the string around. This one is another folding out journal that I made. Call it Violet. Made out of Canson colored paper, and there's a napkin on the front and a flower on the front there. And this one, the covers are some paste, texture paste, and some napkins decoupaged on, some artwork, and it opens up like this. And so I've done some stenciling on it and some stamps of dragonflies, and even inside has some textured stamping done. And so you can open it up each page like this. I wrote Dreaming Tree Farm Artist Retreat here, where you can learn to make all these kind of things. I have a huge list of things to play with and just practice and experiment. Little charms to hang off the side. This is mamagami paper that was gel printed. Got a little pocket in the front, and it has assorted of papers in it. And with a blue pen, you can write right across here. Some stamping. So it has a little tie there. This is another mamagami scroll journal. Mamagami is the technique, Japanese technique of folded and wadded paper. Then I have this little card challenge. I had a deck of round cards, so I painted little acorns on it. Hinged them together with lace. This was a little hinged tag journal. So each hinge goes in and out of one and the next one. Kind of odd situation. And then it's a collage of all kinds of things. Some sewing done, some art, some stamps, different dyed papers, spray oxide paper, chalk paint. That's my little logo image that I've put here and there. and it's Wanderlust or Wander. Another little folding journal. In this little journal I have little charms and earring clasp holding it together. A lot of these papers are recycled old books, or definitely old books that are getting rid of. This is, it says Artist Retreat. Oh, this is one I did quarantined artist retreat. During the quarantine, I was living on an artist retreat, so I was doing all kinds of stuff. And these were a countdown of the days, and each day I did it's a DAY, number 40, I think 40. And so I was doing these little cartoons. I've always wanted to do characteristic cartoons, and I just was clueless on how to do it. And during quarantine, I started doing these letters. Lost 3 days this week. I bet many of us did. Didn't kill anyone. I got dressed. So that was fun. Actually, the idea came from my journal. Had a writing journal that I did morning pages in. And at the top of the page, that's what I put the day, number 70. Oh, quit sweating. Worried sick. Yeah. Retired from my job. Sold my house, bought another house, and then everything hit the fan. This is a iPhone card that had, I guess, instructions for the iPhone. So I covered it, made this little teeny journal to put in it. And this is paper from an 1882 bank ledger, Virginia bank ledger, that I've been gradually using. Use it or it'll be thrown away someday. And of course I got some Reader's Digest books too. So in this little miniature journal set, I found this box at Goodwill, and it's really a good box. It's even dovetailed corners on it. And I was like, I think I'll use that. So I came home, and in 2 days, actually 3 days, usually in the mornings, I made all these little journals. First, I started out with the winter, autumn. Actually, that's the wrong space. So winter, spring, summer, and autumn. Then I made a dragonfly journal, butterfly, insect, a play journal, a July journal, a magic journal, travel journal. So all the journals can have different types of themes. Then there is all kinds of different types of journals that you can make. And I thought I had a book about that. Oops. I do, right here. Early on, when there was discussions about the different types of journals, and people are like, oh, they're all the same, and you can't write in them. Where are you going to write? Oh my gosh, you can write all kinds of places, and it's just a fun place to write because there's all kinds of hidden spaces and art decorated. So this was a book I made out of envelopes to show you the different kinds of journals and explanation about them, like altered book. And so in this, I have a written information about what an altered book is. And I have one right here. Actually, I got a couple. Well, I got several. So this was one of the first ones I made. And it was a old book from the library in their dollar bag sale or whatever. And I just liked a lot of the pictures in it. There was a lot of bird pictures and, you know, and I liked the texture of the paper. It was kind of heavy, coarse, almost cardstock feel to it. Altered book is pages where you've torn some of the pages out and then used other pages to make a pocket, and you glue it. So this is an altered book. And then a lot of these altered books end up being gator mouths, real big here and tiny here, even though I took out a lot of the pages, more than half of them. And then I started putting tabs on them so I could identify what my drawings were. These are all drawings I do and add to the book. And so then I decided to make my own altered book. I did use a book and tore the signatures and then used some of the signature pages, but I made it out of recycled jeans. And this one I can make as fat as I want. So I have plenty of room to expand and put stuff. I also put tabs on it to identify what's in here. So this is a coloring book section that I'm making pages for a future coloring book I'm going to do about the grandmother tree, the 500-year-old tree in my yard. And I've got a bunch of pictures made there, like when the blue heron came down to the creek in front of the big tree. And then these are some kind of logo stuff that I do with this little hippie girl. And some quotes and things I like that I put in some of my books. Altered envelope with quotes in it. And then this one's supposed to be all about the grandmother tree. So here's all these watercolors I've done about the grandmother tree. So this is what an altered book is. So these are original pages here, and then I've added this card, and you just tuck your picture right in there. And I decorated some of them really fun, just to do a color theme with them. But these are the original pages from the book, and then I just saved part of the page, cut it open. That's the footprint of the grandmother tree. And these are supposed to be pictures of around the farm. And the creek. So you can put little tabs there. So it's just stapled on this one, most of my glue. So that's an altered book. And I painted on the jeans. Actually, this was a pair of jeans that totally blew out, so then I just cut the piece and used it for the cover of the journal. And this is the same thing, but I added this drawing here. This was on the pants. And then this butterfly, or dragonfly, I colored and sewed him on there with texture. So that's the altered book. And then you have things like this junk journal. And this is a journal just about the tree. And I've got a couple videos about it. So I'm in the process of photographing all the pages to go with the video. So back to this. You have altered books, you have junk journals, you have smash books. There's different types of journals you do. Art journals that are mostly just drawings. Grunge journals have this other feel to it. These I haven't added in yet. The boho chic is very elegant and lots of pinks and laces. So some people say, oh, they're all the same. No, there's different types of themes. Oh, it opens like this. And it kind of goes with people's characters of what they like to do. If they're more of the frilly pink person, they would really want to do the shabby chic. The grunge journal is more heavy metal type of rough, some dark color or a lot of dark colors. I personally like doing the vintage junk journals and all artistically done. I like to do a lot of the artwork and the dyed papers. I don't buy a lot of the commercial papers. Now, the junk journal can be done using totally commercial purchased papers, but that's just not what I want to do. And that's still considered a junk journal. Of course, you've got your diaries or just journals. The diaries have gradually turned into being called journals. And you do your morning pages, you do your journaling, you do your writing in those pages. And but they used to be called the diaries. The Japanese have a different name for them. I can't remember what the name of it is called. In other countries, they do have different names for them, but they're just writing journals. And Smash Book, that is also like you just take pages from a magazine and you just cut them up and you glue them all on the page, not necessarily having a theme or an idea of how you want it written. Sometimes you just write a couple words, but you're just kind of not really collaging, because collaging has a little more artistic depth to it with the layers and placement of each piece. So this will be a collage journal. And this is the shabby chic with a little pink and some dangles on it that are little tiny, what do you call those? Tassels. I haven't really done anything here, but I do have some lace in it. And then there's the junk journal. And then you can have theme journals depending on what style you want them in. So if you had a winter journal, it could be all winter done in the shabby chic style. Or just like a smash book, just finding all winter pictures to put in it. Of course, mine would be artistically drawn pictures and that kind of stuff. So you've got your seasons you can have as themes, or dragonflies, butterflies, and insects. A journal about July, you know, what flowers bloom in July, or I was thinking of my July birthday. And I just named play. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it, and I have more green pages in this, like the orange one. Red one has a lot more red pages in it, or orange, and this one has a lot of red. And I just named that one Magic because I had the little genie bottle on it. Let's see if you can see that closer. And I'm big on travel journals. I've got several travel journals. And let me get one of those. This one is pretty massive. I traveled to California and back 33 days on a trip. And this is just the journal on the way back, where we stopped at a dinosaur museum and stopped in West Virginia and Colorado. So I have rocks in here. There's a ton of rocks. And this one is artistically, and I've got tabs all on the side to show what state we were at. A couple girls and I traveled cross country, 33 days, 7,800 miles, to get to the redwoods, and I have one journal just on the redwoods and then leaving the redwoods. So this is a lot of artistic, but also I have stuff from magazines and postcards from the trip. And we drove through the fire zone, so I had collected some magazine information about the fires there. And that was still in California after we left the redwoods. And this wonderful still house resort. Oh gosh, it was really nice. But see, I collected all these little brochures and postcards and my chocolate that I bought. Oops, can't see that one. Chocolate, and there was a bunch of art at this resort, so I was able to check out a lot of the art things. And I bought a little journal because at the time I didn't have this journal with me. I made this one when I got home, so I actually bought a little journal to make notes in and collect the items to, like these I haven't even taken out of here to put in my book. So that's what my travel journal exists. Lots of postcards, some maps. And any of the journals can be done in that way, where you've collected stuff at the zoo, or, you know, anywhere like that. And create your book around that. Whether you do drawings or not, you could use commercial bought paper that talk about the zoo. So anyway, I just tossed this little camper in here because I have one that is at my retreat for people to stay in. And so that was the travel journal. And then I also have several journals that I work in constantly. As my grandmother tree journal, I have a garden journal, I have a regular couple different art journals that I draw pictures. Either I've got one of the retreat and all the work I've done over the past 3 years. I draw pictures of what I got done, or did myself. And I don't know, I just named that one My Time because I had the stamps for it. And then this one is a sewing journal, and I do keep a sewing journal. So that's my little junk journal bookshelf. And I figure instead of buying 30 dolls for your children, you buy one of these for yourself. I figure it's worth at least 100, maybe 150 when I add more samples of what to put in each book. The camper would not be sold with it, but yeah, I think it's a really cute collection. Y'all have a good day.